Welcome back to What Would It Cost? Today we're talking about designing your dream home, and more importantly, the custom millwork and custom cabinetry that goes behind it, with our special guest Santina from Lancaster Customs.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you for coming out. We're really excited to have this conversation.
Thank you.
And big shout out to our sponsor from Elemental, Joe and Gio. They do an awesome job curating an amazing experience in their establishment at Elemental Wellness Studio. They have ice baths, saunas, they do breath work, meditation, magnesium floats, and all that other good stuff that keeps your health on track and makes for an overall beautiful lifestyle if you're able to put that into maintenance mode. So go check them out, Elemental Wellness Studio. Big shout out to Joe and Gio.
What is it going to cost?
How much? Hi, my name's Nicholas Regina.
My name's Michael Sakuro.
And you're listening to
What Would It Cost?
Is that good?
Yeah, so thank you for coming out. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
I'm
taking the
excited.
time. We know you guys are very busy, especially in the summer months as well. So tell us a bit about yourself.
So a little bit about me. I'm a mother of 5. I've got 5 beautiful kids, 2 sets of twins. Few people can relate to me. Love what I do. So basically, how did I come to know of Lancaster Customs? The best part is I used to be a customer. I still am a customer. And about 7 years ago, my husband and I purchased a new home. And we knew we weren't going to upgrade anything through the builder because they just couldn't give us what we wanted.
Right.
So I actually met Lancaster because they were designing all of my closets. And I was working with another company to give me my dream kitchen. After all, the kitchen is the heart of the home, right? That's where your parties, your everyday living. So I wanted something very, very unique and special to my family. And they just couldn't pinpoint it. I went in there with everything I wanted. They couldn't give me what I wanted. So later on came Lancaster into the picture. I walked into their showroom for my closets, and the first thing I saw was their kitchen in the showroom. And I thought to myself, why can't this be my kitchen? And right away they're like, it can be. So long story short, I got rid of the other company. They made me the most beautiful kitchen, and we became friends. And so we became friends, customers, and right away they were like, you need to work with us. I wasn't ready at that time. I was running my other business. But long story short, over the years, I just kept referring people because that's what I do, right? I'm going to share what I love with everybody.
Yeah.
And so I sent them a ton of customers. And then, the last couple of years, it's been crazy, right? Through the pandemic and everything. Still have my other business, but now I'm a people person. Like, I need to be around people. And we were housebound.
Yeah.
I was home with kids. Granted, my kids are older, but, they were home, school from home. And I thought, I'm losing my mind. Like, I need to do something. So I called my girlfriend, Deb, up from Lancaster. And I said, listen, before I go elsewhere, and she didn't even let me finish the sentence. She's like, oh my God, I've been waiting 5 years for this. So I said, if you need me, I said, you got me. And she's like, oh my God, hands down. So it's been just over a year and a half.
Awesome.
And I'm loving it. And I love helping people.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's my story.
Very cool transition too from being a client that was so impressed with the work and with the service and with everything that surrounded that business, and then you being so happy about the result that you became a great referral source. Maintained the relationship, and then it worked its way into you rocking and rolling with it.
And passion has a lot to do with it, right? Like if you're passionate about what you do and you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now touching on COVID a bit. So what were some challenges you guys had faced during the time? Because couldn't go into people's homes. You had the issue with the supply chain, increase in prices now, labor shortages.
Yeah. And you hit most of them over the head, right? But surprisingly, we persevered, and customers were amazing, like to work with. We did a lot of things over Zoom. So instead of meeting face to face, because really meeting in person is when you need to pick out your materials and whatnot. So we did a lot over Zoom. A lot of the challenges, material shortages, price increases, the cost of fuel, transportation, and then obviously trying to find skilled trades.
Yeah.
Like that's a challenge, I think, in most industries, and not only here at Lancaster, but just across the entire industry.
Yeah.
Everybody is experiencing it still.
Yes.
Things are getting better, but I think, you just need to be really honest with your clients and, just let them know we're here for, we're working for you. We're going to give you the best that we possibly can. Be upfront with timelines and and the rest will follow, right?
Timelines is big, especially in the construction industry. Sorry to hijack the convo, but there's a lot of contractors that have these overzealous timelines, right? And I feel like the clients and customers are really let down because they start to build that in their minds as to that's the real finish line. Like they take what they say very literally.
Yeah.
You're in the industry. A lot of people are in the industry, so they understand these timelines are kind of unrealistic. But that client that really believes that, they start to mold everything in their life in and around that timeline, right? So it could be very disappointing for them when those timelines aren't met and cause a lot of friction.
And some things are out of our control, right? So even if we have a timeline and then something comes up, material wise, those are unforeseen circumstances. Most people are understanding.
Right. Yeah. But even having that conversation with them up front, given the climate of the market and
full transparency is very important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
very cool.
And tell us a bit about Lancaster. So what do you guys do at Lancaster?
What do we do? So what I love about this company is we're pretty much a full service millwork company in the GTA. There's not many out there that will do everything. So, we do everything from bathroom vanities to beautiful bars, kitchens, closets, cabanas, outdoor cabanas, which we're doing quite a bit now. People are just pouring into their homes, especially through the past couple of years. We've been homebound. Everybody wants their houses to look beautiful. They weren't traveling, so they had that extra disposable income. But what I love is we offer everything from an entry level material to full exotic woods, luxury materials. So yeah, we offer quite a bit.
Very cool. Very
That's
cool.
awesome.
And everything from residential and commercial as well. Do you focus more?
We do. I would say mostly residential, but we have done commercial.
Right.
I know we worked on Yorkville. We did the condos down there, so that was really exciting. Different market.
So you guys don't really deal with cookie cutter style packages. Everything
Absolutely
you do
not.
is custom, right? And there's a lot involved with that. There's a lot of moving parts. So tell us about what that looks like from a processes standpoint and how that can really affect the pricing compared to stuff that you can go and grab right off the shelf in the Home Depot with a standard size
of course.
kitchen box. So what challenges do you guys face on a day-to-day with people coming to you with those stories, right? I can get that kind of cabinet at
Exactly.
Home Depot and what your answer is to that and how you approach that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, naturally people want, the best price, right?
Yeah.
But what is the best price? And, there is a huge difference, like you said, from going to Lowe's or coming to us. And it's a specific client, right? Everything is I always tell people, everything's fully custom made for your space. No one is going to have what you are going to get. You will not get this anywhere else. It's got to be fully custom. And with that, yes, there's a little bit of a price tag. And there's also a process, right? So I'm the face of Lancaster when it comes to my clients. So it's my duty to explain to them the process. So I meet with you, we discuss, what it is that you want, your needs, the look you're going for. But then once you've committed and I've done the site measure and your designs are done, because we have our designers who put everything together, you pick your finishes, it's off to production. Nobody really sees the behind the scenes, right? So this is where people don't understand, well, how long does it take? Like, we sign the papers and there's quite a few steps. There's engineering, they've got to do another set of drawings. There's ordering material. There's building the cabinets. There's, if it's painted, it's got to be painted. If it's stained, it's got to be stained. If it's a there's many different steps behind the scenes that people don't see, but that's what makes your product beautiful. And that's what differentiates us.
So you're paying for what you get.
You're paying for what you get. It's custom, right? It's no different than, buying a lower end car and then buying a high end car, right? You're getting what you're
getting the better
for.
finishes, that better build, the better quality.
Right.
all the way around.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could really tell the difference too when something is custom and there's time, love, and care put into it, and a very unique design. Like you could tell right when you walk into a room, like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that's not just picked up off of any big box store shelf. This is custom.
And our cabinetry is quality on the inside and the outside.
Right.
So a lot of company, and some customers, they just want it to look pretty. They don't really care what's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves in the complete package. So you're getting the look and you're getting the quality as well.
Right. Which is another important thing as well, because that's what you get. That's where you get the longevity from.
Yes,
right? Like
absolutely.
What are they making the boxes out of? The particle board, MDF, or a good plywood? Like that has a lot to do with it, right? And it might look good for the first 2-3 years with the more cookie cutter style.
You don't want to open the door and then the door falls off the hinge.
Yeah. So good on you.
And I have 5 kids, so my kitchen's in great shape.
Yeah. Very cool. That's awesome. And millwork is always, we were having a little discussion earlier there. Millwork is always like the focal point of that, the room's design or the home's design or whatever it may be, right? It's the people that, the things that people like to conversate over and really compliment in a big way. And it's finished, so it's got to be perfect.
And it's so personal, right? Everybody's style is different.
Yeah. So good on you guys for building a solid brand and a good name in the industry of being, up at the top, and for doing such a great job servicing your clients, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And, in light of what would it cost, I know it's custom, so everybody's different, but what are some price ranges, or are there set?
That's like the $1 million question, right? Everyone's like, so if I want to do this, how much do you think it would cost, right? And that's, it's a crazy question because it depends on so many factors.
Yeah, right.
It depends on the size of the project. Like, you could come in and say you want a bathroom vanity and it's a set price, or you can come in and say, oh, I want to build a kitchen. What would it cost? And honestly, again, like I said, it depends on the size. It depends on the materials we use. Are we using a prefab material? Are we using solid wood? Are we staining? Are we painting? Are you adding, there's tons of bells and whistles you can add to millwork as well, right? So I always like to sit down with the person and go through everything they want. So we're building $20,000 kitchens. We're building $200,000 kitchens. It all depends on what it is that you're doing. So we work with everybody's budget. And we try to give you exactly what you want.
Very cool. And do you guys pair yourselves or have partnerships with appliance companies that you work hand in hand with? Do you have and other people like the granite companies that may finish the counters off, or is that
so
something that you
we
deal
do
with
carry
in-house?
we do carry a couple of, or a brand of stone in our office, just more for convenience for the client. And then they can see the different styles, the different colors, just to see how they pair up with the colors that they're choosing. But we, that's completely we specialize in millwork, and that's a completely different beast.
Right. So you might point them off in the right direction and give some suggestions,
for sure.
You stick to the millwork end of it.
That's our expertise.
Nice. Great.
And any craziest ask? Like, what was the craziest ask before?
The craziest
ask any design or a project, whatever it may be, that you've seen.
I don't know that I've had any crazy asks.
What species of wood comes from some foreign part in the world?
We have one of my colleagues at the office just designed this gorgeous unit, and it was like a live edge. I can't remember how long this piece was, but it was completely custom, one of a kind. It came from basically a tree trunk, finished, and it was just stunning. No one ever is going to have a piece like that. It's completely exclusive and like a one of a kind.
Very cool.
So there are high-end customers that want something that nobody's ever going to get, and we can deliver that.
Awesome. And how's being a mom with 2 sets of twins, 5 kids in total, and being such a rock star at work, working for such a great company and having to perform on a day-to-day basis? How does that look like for all the moms out there that can
It's
still
crazy.
kick butt and have a career with being a
I'm
mom?
not going to lie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And people will say to me, like, I don't know how you do it,
Yeah.
but I need something for myself.
Yeah.
You know, my kids are older now. My oldest is 23. My twin boys are 20. My girls
Okay.
just turned 16, going on
Nice.
30. But to me, it's all about being organized. It always
Yeah.
has been. And like my calendar is king. And without
Yeah.
that, I'm a disaster.
Time management.
But I think for me, it's really important to have something for myself. Like I
Yes.
can't just be a mom. I can't just be a housewife. And
Yeah.
for some people, it's good, but I need something to call my own.
Yeah, good for you. Awesome.
And yeah, it's crazy, but
Awesome. So what was there a point in time that you came to that realization? You said, okay, I need a balance here. This is something that I want to do for myself. And how old were your kids at that point? Is it something where you were always doing something on the side?
so I've always been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I've always worked for home. I worked in corporate just for a very short while, but I've always been on my own ever since.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons being is I needed that flexibility.
Yeah.
So being, my own boss type of thing. Working with Lancasters has been amazing. They're amazing. They're very flexible.
Right.
And for me, my family is number one
Right.
priority. So I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I can balance with my work life as
Right.
well.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then when looking, because we were talking a bit before, like you'll have someone that they buy, a new build in a subdivision, and then they come in for a custom home, a custom build, or they're building a home. What's that timeline look at? Like, when do you guys get involved? So
The timeline?
Yeah. So it's like as soon as they close, you're in there taking measurements. Are you going beforehand to make sure it's in there right away for them?
So we can work beforehand, right? A lot of people will bring in their blueprint, and we can work off of that to give them a quote, to give them an idea of what they're, going to expect. We can start designing, but the actual production process, timelines vary. Like right now, we're working with 10 to 14 weeks from the time of sign off, but they do vary, right? During the pandemic, it was a little bit longer, but we try to do as much as we can before. So that as soon as they get the keys, we can get in, we can measure, fine tune the drawings, and get it off to production. Because we won't start to build anything unless we have proper measurements, of course.
Yeah,
It's,
of
it's fully
course.
custom.
Yeah. Which 10 to 14 weeks from sign off, that's good.
For custom?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
really
absolutely.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because again, a lot of moving parts and not easy. But so,
Yeah, and it also depends on the material chosen. Sometimes if we're using a prefab material, it could be quicker.
Yeah.
Because you're not relying on different, paint processes, stain processes, which, can take a little bit longer as well.
Right. So when it comes to production, is a lot of it done in-house? You have a factory or a warehouse that's, GTA based or based out of Canada, or is a lot of it coming from, various parts of either North America or the world?
That's a great question, because a lot of times, we'll be sitting with clients and they'll be like, what's that noise? I'm like, they're just building cabinets right behind us. And they're like, oh my God, your plant is right here. So it's right through the doors in our office, which is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that's a big plus, right?
Oh, for sure.
Huge time saver too.
Well, especially for clients too, they're able to, walk through and see exactly.
Well, we
what's
can't
being done.
really take them behind.
or see
'cause,
like a
they can
concept
peek
of it,
through the
but-
window.
Yeah. At least you're able to see, even if you have models there in person, not,
Yeah,
also
we've
you're
got a
picking
beautiful
them up.
showroom
Amazing.
to show them.
Yeah.
Our Instagram is amazing. That's our most up-to-date work.
Yeah.
So that I like to point people to our Instagram just to see the different styles we offer as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we offer something for everybody.
So when it comes to the styles, do they pick from, a book or collection that you have, or have people they come to you and be like, I saw this on Pinterest, or
So-
someone else's home, can you
Yeah.
match this kind of thing?
So we do get those people like myself.
Yeah.
Right? They always laugh at me because I came in with a book, and I was like super prepared. I knew exactly what I wanted, but
Yeah.
then you also get those people that come in and have no clue what they want. They're like, I want a kitchen. They don't know what style, what color, what material, and you literally have to walk them through everything. So, for me, I'm all about helping people.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, whether you're in sales or any kind of service industry, is you need to listen, right? So I just ask questions.
Yeah.
And number one, what are you looking for? Inspo pictures are huge. So like you said, like I get them to look through Pinterest or on our Instagram, show me what you love. right?
Yeah.
What are your must-haves?
Yeah.
What are your like non-negotiables? Like, you know, you're here for your dream kitchen. You know, what do you need in this kitchen?
Right.
And I go from there. And to me, that's the most important. And also as a designer, putting yourself in their shoes and taking yourself out of the equation. Because sometimes we tend to gravitate towards our taste, right? But your client may not have the same taste as you. So asking those questions is really important because at the end of the day, you're working for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone has a different vision and a different taste. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if it's not my taste, you know, it doesn't matter as long as it looks good. And if they're asking for something that I know is not a right fit, I will be honest and recommend, you know, an alternative.
Yeah, yeah. And in regards to what your product and design does for people's home values, like when you're talking about custom kitchen, custom cabinetry, and, you know, the built-in closets and all that, like we see it on our end, right? When we're, you know, looking at listings and we're facilitating the financing for people, that when you do see those custom, you know, pieces in one's house, the value really fires up. It shoots up in a big way. So it's not, I would look at it more so as a great investment to have that, right? As opposed to it being a cost and a luxury that only they're going to enjoy the upside from. And then when they decide to sell that asset, right, or that home, that they don't see the upside from it, what it does for their value is, not only are they getting to enjoy that, are their guests getting to enjoy that, but they get it back plus some.
It creates that warm, cozy feeling, right? You've made it your home. And if you are planning to sell your home, it's like turnkey. So when someone's viewing your listing and they see the whole package, it's better for them because they don't have to come in and do a complete reno.
Exactly.
You know, everything's already made.
They'd rather pay a little bit more because, like you said,
absolutely.
It's turnkey, you walk in,
and to me, organization is key. So if, you know, you could have a big house or a little house, but if you don't have proper, you know, millwork or shelving, it's a disaster. Right?
And then especially too, to add one more thing to that, you have that upper echelon brand Lancaster. So it's part of the discussion in the sale of the home with the realtor. This is a Lancaster kitchen. This is a right?
We're a luxurious brand.
It even takes you that much further,
with quality and style behind us.
Absolutely. Very cool.
And given we deal with a lot of the financing, so especially during COVID, like you said, there's a lot of people that were remodeling their homes. So we're doing a lot of refinances for these remodels. How does the financing look for when someone comes to choose this custom design? Is there like a deposit and then installments, or deposit and they pay?
That's a good question.
On final?
Yeah. So basically what we do is when someone comes in and we're talking preliminary, we go through, you know, what their wish list is, millwork, etc. Once the quotation is presented to them, if they're happy with it, if we need to negotiate, we negotiate. But to move forward, we require a 50% deposit. And then after that deposit is taken, we move forward with professional design, site measures, etc. And then the balance is owing on delivery before installation commences.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out today to speak with us.
Thank you.
The conversation, especially you being the first talking about custom millworking on our show. So
thank you. It was my pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And let everyone know where they could check yourself on Lancaster.
Yeah, so you can find us on Instagram at Lancaster Customs, or if you're in the Vaughan area, we are located at 225 McNaughton Road East, Unit 4. Come check us out at Lancaster Customs.
And big shout out to Elemental Wellness Studio. They have an awesome establishment where they curate real unique experiences like ice baths, saunas, ozone, breath work, meditation, all that good stuff to make sure your health stays on track and you can maintain a healthy lifestyle with awesome balance. So go check them out, and big shout out to Gio and Joe.
Thanks again for tuning to this week's episode. Be sure to like, follow, and share. Hit the subscribe button below, and we'll see you next week.
Next on What Would It Cost?
You know, I hear a lot of realtors say sometimes, you know, I would advise my client the way I would advise myself to kind of conduct business. But, you know, what you do in your business and the approach you take doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for somebody else. Everyone's finances are different, you know, goals and stuff like that. So we really try to find a solution, whether it's a buyer or a seller. Right.
Yeah.
Both ways. Yeah.